Well, greetings again, everyone. It's Nick Michalak along with my friend Trent Zuberi.
Hello.
Hey, we're doing a commentary on Above the Law, the Steven Seagal film, and a first of hopeful series of Seagal commentaries. So, guys, if you want to sync up with your own copy of the film, which in some foreign territories is also called Nico, go ahead and hit the timestamp to 0 and press play now.
I forgot that it was called Nico. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think Italy, right? So it really says Nico to market it more towards the Italian.
Yeah, probably,
fans,
yeah.
Right?
And plus, I've seen like a foreign poster. It's kind of like all watercolors. It looks really cool.
I've never seen that.
Yeah, because the one we typically see just him with the gun and everything.
Yeah.
But apparently,
Andrew Davis done anything else noteworthy?
a fugitive under siege.
Well, he was fugitive.
Yeah.
That was fantastic.
Yeah, he before this he did a Chuck Norris film, Code of Silence, which pretty much kind of rolled him into this film.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
These are actual pictures of Stephen.
Oh yeah,
obviously,
yeah,
right?
real deal. Because apparently when they got everything rolling with Seagal here to kind of pitch him into a film, they took a bunch of like scripts they had laying around at Warner Brothers for Eastwood flicks.
Oh yeah.
And they decided to go with this one and kind of add more of Seagal's actual genuine backstory into the character to kind of enrich it, to have it play more towards what he can offer.
Right.
Because honestly, I mean, you wouldn't have Eastwood go around with Aikido moves and shit, so.
And from what I understand, he was like a grand master in Aikido, like teaching like a bunch of celebrities and stuff in Hollywood, right? That's what the idea was, and
Yeah, because
they consulted him on a few movies, and that's just how I got in.
yeah, because one of his students was an agent and everything, a guy who pretty much felt he could make a star out of anyone, and pretty much proved it right with Seagal here.
Pam Grier's in this movie. Let's not leave her out.
Fantastic.
Jack Wallace also. Ron Dean. Those are classics.
Yeah. Henry Silva, of course. I mean,
Harry Silva's a classic too.
face chiseled out of granite.
Yep. And then let's not forget a young Sharon Stone
Oh yeah, yeah, a little bit.
plays the wife.
Yeah.
He does speak fluent Japanese. Huh?
Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
I mean,
I mean, I know he lived there for a while. So.
he's a surprising guy, Seagal, in so much of what kind of culture he has in his background.
I always loved Aikido. Like it was the art of momentum, you know.
Yeah.
And I always thought that was a fantastic martial art.
Yeah. It's kind of cool because I mean you got like him and Van Damme coming up at kind of like the same time. One of them is much more larger theatrical moves with Van Damme.
Yeah.
And you got this guy's a little bit more kind of straight and down and dirty type of stuff. They can be seems a bit more practical in a certain way.
He was a lot cool. I feel like it was a lot cooler. He was a little more like. He seemed like more of like a cool hero than Van Damme was.
Yeah, because Van Damme was kind of good at playing more kind of vulnerable type of heroes. Seagal seemed like, even from this film, just like he had the persona of what he wanted to do down, a kind of gritty cop type of thriller character.
The Vietnam mix into this movie was weird for me.
A little bit.
Because they're showing, let's say at the latest, let's say it's 1970, 71, right?
For the Seagal's age, it seems a little stretched.
It seems a little weird because they're showing, let's say 1970 to take it, to round it out there. And I guess he'd have to be what? Let's say the youngest he could be in the
fiction of the film.
Right, is what, 20 maybe?
Yeah, because Seagal was born in 52, so technically he could have been.
He could have been 18
He
and
would have
20.
been right at that age for draft age for the war.
But then you fast forward to 1988. I mean, there's no way he's near 40 years old.
Yeah, they jump ahead like 15 years, and as we'll see
more.
here, we show him in the Vietnam era, and obviously they don't use like a younger actor to be Seagal in the film. Everyone, Henry Silva, they probably dyed his hair.
Well, Silva's fine because when they go back to the present day, he looks an aged guy. But
he's got the
Seagal
gray hair and everything.
He's the same though. I mean,
it looks like the next day.
Oh, they give you a year.
73. So
okay,
yeah,
so 15 years.
It is 15 years.
So what that's showing us is that let's say the youngest he could be here is
somewhere
18
early
to
20,
20, 20
yeah,
maybe?
college aged.
So, I guess 35 in the present day.
Yeah,
I don't
so,
know. He looks younger than that, but whatever. I guess that makes sense.
Yeah.
It's Chelsea Ross, I believe, right? Is his name? The other gentleman there?
Yeah.
I've seen it.
He pops up in a lot of random stuff.
He's always the side character,
Yeah, I'm sure I saw him in like a Miami Vice episode or something somewhere.
Always the bride.
Which some of this is a little kind of Miami Vice, Lethal Weapon type of elements in it here and there, with crack cocaine and stuff like that. And even in like some Miami Vice stuff, they had like episodes where stuff stemmed out from like South America or Vietnam or whatnot, and they were dealing with guys who are running drugs and guns and stuff from those areas and coming back to home soil and everything. So all these ideas kept swirling around, and probably stemming from a lot of real world type of stuff that was coming up in the news at that time.
Yeah. Is Henry Silva still alive?
Yeah, he's about 88 years old.
Wow.
He probably still looks fantastic, I'm sure. Right. You probably still put a camera in front of him and they would love looking at the detail of his face.
I feel like that was overdone. Him calling him a sucker.
Yeah, it sounded a little bit.
It seemed forced.
Yeah.
A sucker. It was a weird term to put in there.
It sounds like the edited for TV version.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, Silva, the guy's done like 1,000 fucking films. He did like westerns back in the day.
Oh, yeah, he's a classic.
But I'm sure he's probably been cast as a villain 100,000 times because of that look.
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes that's all you need is a look.
His look, I mean, look, the look he's given this prisoner here is fantastic. That look right there is a classic Henry Silva look. I mean, so in this movie, he's really born in 52. Okay, so he was about 36 years old already. Oh, okay, so he was
pretty far along.
He started his career a little late then.
Yeah,
you would say, right? I mean,
yeah,
acting at least. I mean,
acting
he was
wise,
doing stuff earlier.
Yeah, see, he already had like a dojo teaching Aikido, which was a little strained for business before the film, but after he made his debut, people were just couldn't get enough of learning Aikido at the time, so he made bank on that.
So hope for me yet. I'm 35. Maybe I can jump into action movies.
I like I seen Nico in the background. First, he's kind of like enjoying the moment or whatnot, but now he's starting to see how it's kind of edging towards something a little more uncomfortable.
I like the Seagal characters.
Yeah.
Like this right here, and
yeah.
It seems like every one of his characters. He's always he's the kind of guy who beats to his own drum.
Yeah.
That's they always show. Like he not defies authority.
Yeah.
But the character was always like he still had his own integrity.
There's a line that he doesn't cross for certain things. He's got certain. And
he does his own. He likes to do it his own way.
Yeah. Nice photography in this.
Yeah.
Nobody moves. Everybody stay on that damn porch. Stay on that goddamn porch.
It's where he played Italians a lot, but he's not Italian at all.
No, he's not. This is a very strange thing.
Whatsoever. I think he's part Native American and I think Irish German or something, or some European in there. I know that.
Yeah.
I know Native American is part of it, which explain some of the darker features. But he played Italians almost. I think in like at least 5 movies he's playing an Italian.
Yeah, Out for Justice most noticeably with the accent.
This is a real church here on the south side of Chicago. They filmed a bunch of movies here. I can't remember the name of it offhand, but they filmed a ton of stuff here.
He'll definitely be pointing out a lot of Chicago landmarks as you go along.
Now these two, now that you mentioned Andrew Davis did The Fugitive, that explains these two right here.
Yeah,
because they were in The Fugitive.
Yeah.
And they always play Chicago cops.
Yeah, definitely the guy on the left I remember is like the chief or whatnot from Fugitive.
Is Andrew Davis from Chicago? That might explain something.
I don't know, because I mean this was the script was originally set in like the Bay Area of San Francisco.
Yeah.
But once Andrew Davis came on, he changed it to Chicago. Same with Code of Silence, everything, and I don't think Chicago was a main thing in the Fugitive television series. So
now what they're showing here, this party, is as a kid who grew up in Chicago, this is very authentic because a little like the yard party that's set up like this, the look of it and everything, the vibe. This is a classic Chicago like backyard party.
Yeah.
Even the story the sun's hitting it looks so spot on.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been to 100 of these as a kid.
Yeah, apparently, Andrew Davis was born in Chicago.
That makes sense.
1946.
That makes sense. Yeah, that adds up because like he would have attended like a party that looked like this.
Yeah,
and stuff like that.
He knows the culture of the city.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there's a lot of interesting little I don't know, quirks or whatnot with the film where you got a lot of little different threads throughout the entire film going on with the mafia stuff.
Yeah.
And, the drug running CIA guys.
Some of the dialogue in that scene. You go, look at these stiff ticks. You put a bunch of food out, and they come running out. They come out like flies. They go, hey, you greaseball bastards! Didn't I buy that monkey once? It's just a great little exchange. Yeah, I like what I liked about this movie was little details like that. Is that boy on Damon? You know, like that's a street. Yeah, it's a Chicago street. That's a little. And it's not like it's a major street, but not like you know, it's not like it's that boy on Michigan Avenue or something. Yeah,
someone who lives in Chicago knows these streets.
Someone would know that street.
You and I could name a dozen different streets in Chicago right now.
Like I want to see if I can name some of these neighbors. They just passed through there. It looks a little north side where it's filmed. I would love to look. That's Wicker Park right there.
Well, yeah,
Double Door just
Double Door
right
Liquors,
there.
which is unfortunately we were talking right before this is no more.
Yep. So that was right there, at Milwaukee and North Avenue, and Dame. So they stuck to it because he's on Damon Milwaukee North Avenue.
Yeah, so they didn't jump to like the south side of Chicago from the north side or something.
This is a classic little scene too.
Fantastic Pam Grier.
Pam Grier's phenomenal. This is a little bit during her like down period too.
Yeah, she apparently really enjoyed doing this film. I guess she has a certain amount of acting range she gets to do in this film.
She did a great job in this film actually.
I mean, I love Jackie Brown.
Jackie Brown is phenomenal,
and she's done such consistent work over the years.
The bartender in this scene is I don't know how to describe it, but his look and everything is so 1988.
He's got a bit of a mullet going on,
and
he's a little too old to be carrying a mullet around.
Yeah,
this dude.
The way he talks.
Yeah, I bet he's probably a local actor they hired.
Oh, totally.
Had to be. Yeah, that's definitely Chicago action.
The way he talked, they'll buy your mom a condominium. It's like grew up with guys who talk like this.
Michael Rooker.
That's a young Michael with hair,
with the leather jacket on. Next to a guy who looks like Glenn Fry.
Yeah. That's a good line.
I seen the top of her head.
There's so many little one-liners this movie.
Oh, here we go.
That's a theme that Seagal carried through all of his movies right there. That like, oh yeah, I'm not gonna hurt you. No, yeah, I am gonna hit you. And he just fucks him up.
Yeah, look at this shit, man.
I love how calmly stop this motherfucker. It's crazy. Yeah. How calmly the bartender spits out the instructions.
Yeah. Nice casting. Just all these guys look like tough.
Oh, they all look like tough, like Chicago tough guys. Don't be a bad guy.
That's a classic Aikido move.
Yeah, I guarantee a bunch of those guys in the background say, hey, you guys want to be a movie? Here's $50 a piece.
The image of my place. Never beat him that.
This bartender guy is fantastic.
Yeah.
He's a very underrated sleazeball. The niece here looks more Hispanic than she did Puerto Rican. Really.
Yeah.
I can never figure that one out. I mean, they were showing a very traditional Italian. His aunt.
Yeah.
This is his cousin, right? This was his cousin. Yeah, his aunt was really traditional, old school Italian mom. And the daughter. I mean, his cousin, the daughter here is a very Hispanic looking girl.
Yeah.
I love how he kicks the shit out. He roughs the shit up out of this kid, though.
Yeah.
I mean, it's acting, but he's still taking some bumps.
He's smacking dudes around.
This guy's gonna take a beating. He didn't do that bad of a job. I mean, some of the emotional lines he has to throw.
Yeah.
And, for a first-time actor, I don't know. People give him a hard time.
Yeah, I mean, today the story's a lot different with him, obviously. But, I mean, back in the day, the guy had charisma,
He
man.
had a lot of charisma. And, I mean, as proven. I mean, his movies did gross a shit ton of money.
Yeah.
This was a hit on the box. And
I mean, there's a reason why Warner Brothers produced almost all of his early films. I mean, they saw a star with this guy and just rode him out for quite a few years.
He's just
smacking him.
This kid just paid his dues in this movie. The blood's a little oddly placed, though.
Yeah.
I mean,
It looks like he has a broken nose, but it doesn't quite seem that way.
The best thing doing movies like this in the 80s is you look at the stuff in the background. You see the old logos of brands and
old cars,
prices.
Yeah.
I know exactly where that is. This is actually Milwaukee Avenue, because that Walgreens they showed in the background is still there.
Oh,
it's not Damon. He turned on Damon when he showed him driving. But where they filmed this spot, this is Milwaukee Avenue, because I know the background. The Walgreens is exactly in the same spot. It was cool when you were a kid and you'd watch these movies where they show the cops are so dedicated to getting the bad guy. They would do these things on their own and really intensely. You understand why kids wanted to be cops, because you saw stuff like this. He's tapping on the phone. He's on a stakeout and things like that. And they're just kind of neat to watch.
They're gonna have me serving time.
These two had great chemistry, though.
Oh, yeah.
You said you were going to protect my butt and be my guardian angel and...
There's an engine block clearing customs Tuesday.
Looks like a lot of it was filmed right around Wicker Park, because this spot where they're filming is that same spot that he turned earlier. You can tell. But I like more authenticity. He mentioned engine block coming in Fulton Meat Market.
Okay.
And when they filmed that scene, what's coming up, it is at the old Fulton Street Meat Market where it was, which is now a very fancy area full of really expensive restaurants. With I think there's still a couple of meat distributors still there, but it's nothing but ritzy, fancy pants
stuff,
restaurant.
yeah. Yeah, I mean, it makes sense for them not to shoot all over the city, because that would be such a pain in the ass.
Looks like they kept that basically
crew and equipment all up and down like Lakeshore Drive or something like that, all for 60 days. They shot for 2 months on this film.
Yeah, they kept it,
which is pretty long production schedule for just an action thriller.
Yeah.
So I mean, they put a lot of faith in Andrew Davis working with the script and delivering something very good. So I mean, that's a lot of time and energy, and what, $7 million they poured into this. So I mean, that's a little higher budgeted thing than you usually got with action films at the time.
Yeah. Look at that.
At least something that's not a lot of like big action.
Oh yeah.
Explosions, set pieces, and shit.
You gotta love that valet parking, $3. That
Oh,
1988.
we'd kill for that.
$3.
We gon' party.
You go anywhere to see, it's like anywhere downtown is $30 to park anywhere.
Yeah, it can't be $3.
Julius is my lord. He's here to say hello. JT Kamara.
I always just love 80s action. I mean, nothing beats 80s action movies in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, a little more authenticity to them, less special effects, but the character development and the character depth was so much more because there was like your comic book looking villain, you know, quintessential villain.
There were a lot more action films in the 80s that tend to focus more on character than they did on the spectacle of things. When you got more into some of the Michael Bay stuff, more the bigger and Bruckheimer films, whatnot, they really kind of made it look splashy and flashy and just bigger explosions, higher special effects budgets and everything. So they're trying to just throw it all in the trailer to get you excited, and if the characters didn't quite make it, it wasn't really their focus.
Yeah, I was never. See, I'm not, as you know, I'm not a big fan of as much of the new stuff. That's looks more like a video game than it does a movie now. And I like stuff that's a little more. I can
a little more edgy, whatnot.
Yeah, I feel like I can be in the background of this movie. I can't be in the background of Transformers. So I feel like there is no background. It's all on the computer. But I feel through that you get better character development.
Yeah. Oh, that's a fantastic shot.
Classic shot. That's the Fulton Meat Market right there, which is all vastly different now. But this is an absolute classic scene.
Yeah. Looks like they shot this like early morning.
Oh yeah, this looks like a 6 a.m. shot.
Yeah. It's kind of interesting. I mean, when I watch like Fugitive or Under Siege, I don't see as much visual style in it, but this film for Andrew Davis just seems like it's got a little bit more.
Oh yeah,
it got a little more visual punch to it, where it's just the setting that they're choosing and whatnot. Just I think they're just a little bit more on screen to work with.
Yeah. This guy's great. I forget his name, but him and the other gentleman. Who are this guy right here? They're just great because they're definitely two Chicago born and bred guys who just and when I read they were retired cops. And
that makes sense.
They got in. They were both retired cops. They just got in as consultants for authenticity, and then
I mean, Michael Mann did the same thing with Thief in Chicago. Hired like Dennis Farina was a Chicago cop,
right, exactly,
and a whole bunch of other guys to consult on the authenticity of the cops and the criminals and everything. Just give you that extra flavor of the film. It feels more authentic.
Yeah, which I can appreciate.
I've kind of liked in this film how take the first couple of scenes of this thing where you're not really getting into the plot so much, but you're presenting Seagal as an authentic badass. Before you really get too much of the plot going, you've got some scenes where you're showing a little bit of charisma. You see him knocking some dudes around, so you're getting invested in this new action star they're putting out there. See what he can offer.
Yeah. And
you're excited to see him deliver more as the film goes on.
He's already a pretty likable character. He's got a cool, calm and collected. He's out to get the job done.
You've seen the little bit of sentimentality with the family and everything. You see him; he's a tough cop. He can handle himself in the fighting and everything. So I mean, he's got the elements that you want to get to.
Classic shootout.
Yeah. And again, it falls more on like a Lethal Weapon type of thing instead of like a Rambo First Blood Part 2 or Commando type of thing where it's big over the top type of stuff. This is gritty and edgy.
Not too far off from Chicago nowadays.
Yeah.
seemed really believable, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know, it just seemed like, you know, you could see it happening.
Yeah, I mean, you could see this unfold someday in an all neighborhood in Chicago.
Yeah, classic chase going on and whatnot.
Yeah.
Here it starts.
And no one's in like a sports car or anything. It's just like
Yeah,
they're not overinflating the reality too much.
That's a hell of a bump he took out of
Yeah.
that windshield.
Nice to have stunt doubles.
He-
But I mean, you're seeing Seagal on top of the car as it's moving here, so
I mean,
he was game.
he was classic for, you know, being like indestructible. Like his whole thing is like nobody
Yeah.
ever gets a hit on him. He barely gets hurt. You know, I think Hard to Kill was the only one that he. I mean, he like got put in that coma, but it took like 5 guys to like shoot the shit out of him to do it. But like, you know, his whole thing. I mean, he just took a bump. Like got hit by a car.
Yeah.
He ended up on the roof, not a bump scratch on him.
Yeah.
They just looped it around the Fulton Meat Market. It was, but it looked like a longer, even like a longer trek that they did. But all they did is pretty much go around the block. now they're on
Yeah.
Wabash. You know, elf tracks and everything. They threw little comedic lines in every now and then too. And they're pretty much right back at the meat market. No, they're at the office.
It's kind of nice you have that kind of dynamic. I mean, Nico's the guy who's kind of like a little wild, a little bit impassioned, and everything, and she's a little bit more kind of trying to tether him back in.
Yeah.
It's like, don't be so fucking crazy, man.
She's always been a solid actress. I
Yeah.
remember this was just like a down time for her.
Yeah, I mean, I couldn't really name anything she was doing in the 80s.
You know? I mean, she also got. I mean, after Jackie Brown, she kind of went down again, though. She didn't really do much after that, did she?
Not too much, but I mean, she I think she
She's
maintained
70 years old
consistent
now,
work,
but-
but I mean, not high profile stuff.
Yeah. But you know, for a peak, I mean, Jackie Brown's 20 years old at this point now. It's
Yeah,
97.
I saw that in the theater.
Yeah, me too. But I mean, it's. And she was probably. I think she's my dad's age. And she's like 50 then.
Probably, yeah.
Jackie Brown.
He's a tax sergeant. CPD vice.
I'll tell you what this cop is. He's a fucking menace. He almost strangled me to death.
Your problem's being taken care of like that.
Oh, yeah? Well, it should have been handled 12 hours ago when my throat was in my peak. I don't know if it's running.
Now that guy, this gentleman here, he's been in some other stuff too.
It seems a bit familiar.
I cannot put my finger on it, but he's always playing some kind of cop or authority.
This should be the number, not a badge.
I know one place he's from. He's from Die Hard with a Vengeance.
Oh,
Yeah. Yeah, he's always a cop. Some kind of cop or agent or one of those things.
okay.
Free to go.
Thank you very much.
Too many 80s hair.
Oh yeah, I
that
love it.
guy, man.
Thick hair, slick back.
So much product.
This kind of kicks the story a little bit here. You know,
Yeah,
like
it's-
they got off in the technicality,
yeah.
and now you know they got an enemy in him, and they also are going to continue on with their illegalities. And now you
There
have
we
this
go.
twist here.
Now it's starting to come together. Yeah.
I don't want any more problems. I don't enjoy babysitting.
Everything is gonna be alright
That's a great name, Zagon.
Zagon, isn't it? Yeah.
That's still an
It
80s badass.
It is a definite villain name.
Yeah.
Hey, Tanner, please. That's number one. Please, guys. I want to get things straightened out over here. A few minutes ago, I received a phone call from the first deputy superintendent.
That guy's so Chicago, it's incredible.
Oh. Totally.
Well, it may be under the jurisdiction of the federal agencies represented there.
What shit is that? Feds come in, the doors close, and the hears smells of seasoning. And that's no answer. It's no answer to why the biggest drug dealer in the city is out on the street as free as a fucking bird.
Keep it in your pants, right? These men have a job to do just like we do. Fair game, let them
I mean, yeah, I mean, Seagal, I mean, he had, wherever he got these chops, I don't know, but
That's what I'm saying. Like, for a first movie out,
in retrospect, a lot of people don't give him enough credit, I feel, because they just
I'm
kind
telling
of, because they base it on the kind of downslope he's gone on for like the last 15 years after he's put on all the weight and done a bunch of shitty direct-to-video things, but in his prime, the guy was solid as hell,
I mean,
solid as any other action film.
proof's in
A hero.
the pudding. I mean, he had a bunch of hits. I mean, his first, 7 movies off the gate were all box office smashes, right?
Yeah,
And then, I mean, some of the other ones like Glimmer Man and
on Deadly Ground.
I mean, they did okay. None of them were flops. Those weren't really flops. He didn't really start getting to, like, I don't want to say flopping territory, but
Like
that
late
direct,
90s or whatnot, he kind of
like their direct to video.
slipped and
I think
fell a
after
little
2000 is when he really. Then he had that cop show he did where he was the cop in New Orleans, which kind of revived him a bit.
Yeah, because apparently, I guess him and like a producer or whatnot, or one of the writers, went on a ride along with Chicago cops. Apparently, Seagal scared the criminals more than the cops.
That's what I heard. Yeah. I mean, he's
just.
definitely.
I mean, he can turn it on, man. He could turn it on.
He is a sheriff, right, in New Orleans.
Yeah,
or something,
he's
right?
deputized.
Deputized sheriff. He's an interesting guy. I mean, his personal life he's a little weird, quirky guy.
Yeah, he's got a lot of unfortunate things in his personal life.
But that's part. His appeal is that he's like I said earlier. He marks his beat of his own drum. Though he doesn't care what anybody thinks.
No, he doesn't. This is kind of a weird soft top Cadillac convertible. I've never seen one of them before.
It's very.
That's
1988.
very unusual.
Yeah, you're right.
It's probably the same church from before.
I think it is. Yeah. The script had a couple of weird little subplots in it too. Like this one here, that's coming up here. It's a weird little add-on. This movie has a lot of like peaks and valleys in terms of like it'll peak out with some heavy action, then it'll soften you up with some story. It'll peak you out with some more action, then it'll soften with some story.
Yeah, it's a little different from his later stuff. It's a little bit more kind of lean, straightforward type of plots and everything. This one's got a little, like I said earlier, a couple little threads that kind of branch off here and there.
Which I
tie
like.
Back in later on.
You have to show more of his acting side, I feel, in this movie.
Yeah, I mean, this whole film is kind of designed just like solidify him, put a stamp on it that this is the full scope of what this guy, Steven Seagal, can do as an action star. And again, if you put it in a less seasoned director's hands, it would not come off so well. But obviously, Andrew Davis had done a couple of other action films before this, and like I said, already done Chuck Norris with Code of Silence, so he was already proven to be able to deliver a solid hit. So you can pull all these a little bit more, maybe a little overworked elements into it, but you can still pull it together as a cohesive whole.
Yeah.
And it does require a little bit more of your patience than the usual stuff, but it pays off with the action.
This is a weird little subplot. I don't know. I mean, it ties in, but it just was like, I didn't expect it. That's
Mhm.
for sure. Yeah, you're right. The later movies had, like, they were just intent, like Out for Justice is like, there's no dead zones in that movie. It's
No,
like,
it just
it's an obliteration
barrels
for
full
2
of
hours.
everything. Yeah,
I mean, something is happening constantly in that movie.
yeah,
You know, and you know, it's like, I would say, Mark for Death, Hard to Kill. They're all, and even Under Siege. Under Siege starts off a little slow, but like,
yeah.
but yeah, I mean, more this one I feel like just would stop and give you a bit of story and then pull you back in.
Yeah.
He had an ambitious writer, it seems,
Yeah.
on the script.
Yeah,
The guy wanted to show off some of his writing chops.
yeah. Probably throw a couple ideas from different scripts they couldn't really make a full
Yeah.
story out of. Just kind of slap it in here and pull it into the fiber of everything else.
I think that's what that is. Yeah, that's good. Good point.
Would you like us to have a car combined, Sharon?
And just seeing Seagal so thin. You'll see, and it's even more prominent later when he's just like in a tank top. But
Oh,
man, he couldn't. The slim as he ever is. I think maybe might have a little bit more muscle in a couple other films, not Schwarzenegger or anything. But
No, he was never like that.
I think he put a little bit more definition in other films, but
Yeah. He
I think after like Under Siege 2, he started getting a little heavy.
yeah. I do like the very personal touch. You know, he knows his priest. He's like a good.
Yeah.
You know, they show you as an old altar boy. I mean,
Yeah.
they show like he's been going there since he was a kid.
Yeah.
That's what they established earlier.
He's a family man. I mean, he doesn't have his own
It's
family, but overall he's a good man of the neighborhood, of the community, and everything.
Yeah.
He's protecting that.
It's very authentic.
Yeah.
You know.
And again, it uses Chicago to kind of add to that quality to him. That because you got a director who knows Chicago that well, who grew up there, you can add those elements into it to make it part of the unique fiber of it all.
And that's a big part of it. Is he had a Chicago director who knew what he was doing.
Mm-hmm.
So when he wanted to show an authentic couple things about the city, he made sure to do it right.
Yeah.
You know, a young Sharon Stone, the things she would be doing just a few years later that she got popular for.
Yeah, I even like Total Recall and shit. Before
Well, Basic Instinct was what, 92, wasn't it?
91, 92, something like
Yeah.
that.
So
Total
right, pretty
Recall
much
was
not too long
1990.
after this.
Uh-oh.
This guy looks like John Hughes.
He does. Chicago again.
Another Chicago, yeah.
Yeah, she's shifty. I'm sure she must have put a bomb down. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Get down.
It's a tough thing, man, killing a priest.
Oh, look. Jeez.
Yeah, I mean, it's
It's a
just,
little grisly.
yeah.
But you need that. You got to show the consequences and everything.
I mean, it is a little grim. I mean, a
Yeah.
bomb.
In a
In
church,
a
for
church.
Christ's sake. I mean,
it's pretty intense.
look at that.
Sunday service.
Oh, Jesus. There goes John Hughes.
Now Hughes is gone.
Nice
Like a
music
massacre
too.
scene.
Oh, jeez. Yeah, music in this is pretty good. I mean, David Michael Frank, I think, also did the Mark for Death score as well.
Did he? It's very fitting to each scene that he does it for. Yeah, the score is really
Yeah,
good.
just kind of like a little acoustic guitar and whatnot he's throwing it there. It's kind of nice.
This is one of my favorite scenes where he kind of breaks down
Yeah.
and he just
Everybody that was treated here today.
doesn't care. Like you
Yeah.
see that almost like psychotic look. Like I have
Yeah.
nothing to lose now. I don't care.
Yeah. And this is a character who doesn't even know the full scope of what's going on around him yet.
Yeah.
With Zagon and all that kind of shit. He's just kind of into a little piece of what's going on. And it's kind of nice. I mean, that the hero of the whole thing gets sucked further into the plot because
Yeah.
everyone else is taking retaliation.
Oh, Nick. Oh,
She just looks like a mom.
Oh, yeah.
She's dressed like a mom. She looks like a mom.
Oh, yeah.
It's very believable.
Hmm.
I just love it. I mean, again going back to this first time actor, the facial expressions and
Mhm.
there's a look in his eyes.
Oh, yeah,
He
right
just-
there, man. It's
like
like,
he just doesn't care, man. He's like,
yeah. That look as he's walking down the hallway is like, that's the look of a fucking angel of death, man.
yeah. I've seen that guy before too. When I was playing all the agents.
Hmm.
The other guy, the guy in the room with him.
Alright, what the hell is it, this guy?
Yeah, there we
Yeah.
go.
You keep your goddamn hands off me.
Mhm.
That guy's definitely very Chicago too.
Yeah.
Crazy? What does he have to do with this? Cherry bomb. Accuse that shit. I know what it smells like and I know what it clothes like.
There you go.
Mhm.
Silva never came near that C4. It's in federal holding right now. Besides, why would Silva go open church? Real reason. Him and his goons in that church in the
So here,
All the women planning bombs.
here comes your plot. You know, they're trying to
Mhm.
tie things in here.
Yeah, it's manifesting here in this moment.
My orders were to release
Yeah, just that brow he's got,
Yeah,
man. Just
the
it's
brow is very
intense, man.
intimidating.
Martial arts hero, chop suey crap.
Chop suey
Chop
crap.
suey crap.
You're not even a good cop, really. You sneak around playing your street dick games, and all you come up with is conjecture, wild coincidence, and bullshit.
This guy's a pretty good actor too, though.
Yeah, I mean, this is kind of nice. I mean, it's putting his character in perspective. It's like, yeah, he seems like a badass, but he's not really.
Yeah, you're not really like Gary McCoy.
He's not
You're
really
just like a
doing
little
this.
rebel bastard.
He's going too far off the reservation to really be effective.
And with that, they showed that Bogota
Mm.
Club. I believe it's North Avenue.
Mm.
'Cause I recognize the top of that, but I'm pretty sure I know where that is.
Mm.
And that's now a pizza place. It's all Wicker Park. They're filming a lot of this is around Wicker Park.
Yeah.
So they must have got a couple days to do a few scenes and just went for it.
Yeah. When they applied for the permits, they just said, "Hey, we really like this section of Chicago. It's got a lot of nice scenery. We're just gonna
Well, keep in mind-
kind of hit up this neighborhood mainly for maybe 3/4 of the shoot or something."
And keep in mind, Wicker Park in the '80s was a dump. Now you're paying
Yeah.
$3,000 to live in a closet-sized apartment. Back then,
Jesus.
it was Skid Row in a way. Almost. It wasn't that good. I mean, it was junkies and hookers and all
Yeah.
sorts of drugs and
This place looks nice.
Yeah. the Double Door is actually really responsible for turning Wicker Park around. That was a big turning point when they opened in '94. 2 years after this. So that's why it was easy to get this. That's why it was
Yeah.
like, oh well, hey, nobody wants to hang out in freaking Wicker,
Yeah.
Wicker Park. This is John Hughes. Alan Singletary.
Singletary from Inspired by the Bears.
Oh yeah, probably. You're right. Actually, I'm pretty sure you're right.
I hope I find you with your mother. I will kick your ass.
Everyone just talks trash.
This
It's
is-
so, it's so
city
Chicago.
City of like just a bunch of attitude and bullshit.
St. Mary's Church, where today 7 people were killed by bombs.
Wait a minute. Let me hang up.
Yeah. That's a good idea.
Okay.
Yeah, more nice score here with the guitar and everything.
Yeah.
I like this stuff.
This
Got
is,
nice.
this is Damon again. He literally they filmed so much just around like a 2-mile radius. You know?
Just shoot it well. I mean, they don't pull it back too much.
No,
You can
no.
just
Hey,
kinda
you got a
cut up the
director.
scenery with the framing and everything.
You got a local director. He knows what he's
Yeah.
doing. Classic summertime Chicago scene,
Oh,
hanging
yeah.
out on the stoop.
Yeah, I think they shot this in like April or whatnot, May to June, April to June or something.
This is what crazy.
Oh,
What this guy says to him.
Yeah.
Silvano, you heard that? I know where he's at. Where's that? Right here, mother.
I like how he doesn't even like flinch and
Yeah.
whatnot. It's like, you think he's
I
like,
mean, this
he's
part-
always like, you think you're bad, you ain't bad.
This part got him. The guy with the freaking. This guy's
Machete.
great. This guy with the freaking huge machete.
Oh, there goes his hand.
Like-
Shoot, and the hand just sitting right there.
Oh, is it sitting there? Oh.
just sitting on the fucking pavement.
I never noticed it. I never noticed all the times I watch this movie. Look at that freaking hand just sitting there. And the guy bled to death.
Oh,
That's it.
shit. They can never. They cut a few seconds of this film in the UK.
Oh.
I can see why.
Yeah, even the villains are pretty good actors. I mean, it's like how I would act. You know, some guy would act.
I think some of these guys are actually some of Seagal's students taking the lecks.
That could be. This actor here, this is not the guy from Fast Times at Ridgemont High. Is it the guy who played
Damone.
Damone, isn't that him?
I'd have to get a better look at him. I don't know.
It looks a lot like him.
It's been a while since I've seen it.
Well, yeah, it'd be what, 6 years removed from Damone.
Yeah.
He kind of looks like him though.
Hmm.
Nah, maybe not. I mean, a little bit. You can see why I'd make that comparison.
Yeah, I mean, just look how slender he is, man.
People would make fun of his running. Those things. He
His
does have
arms
a
are a little
goofy run.
He's got a bit of that flailing arms
Yeah.
syndrome.
He does have a bit of a goofy run.
But man, look at him fucking go,
Yeah.
man. It's like quite Tom Cruise levels of
Yeah.
sprinting, but it's pretty impressive.
No, man, nobody. You did this for fun? Huh? Jimmy Costanza. If I find out your line, we'll come back and kill you in your own kitchen.
Kill you in your own kitchen.
Salvado. Bautista Salvado. That's my buddy, man.
That's my buddy.
Yeah.
He almost looks like William Forsythe.
Yeah, he
from
does. He
Out for
does a little
Justice.
bit. Like,
Hey, why you fucking my friend, man? Hey, fuck your mood, man.
I feel like that scene. Huh.
Fucking attitude there, man.
You're
good, man.
What would it be like? I feel like that scene was just added. Like that guy was somebody's
Yeah.
friend because that guy would never be friends with the other guy. He's like, "That's my friend, man." That guy looks like he'd be friends with that guy, like a friggin' Colombian drug runner, and like that just average Chicago blue collar Joe or pals. And he's, "Hey, it's my friend." And the guy was a terrible actor. You know, he wasn't an actor.
Yeah.
The way he delivered that line, he clearly was not an
I
actor.
could take a hit.
He's clearly almost like Andrew Davis's brother or something. It's
Something like that. Some stunt guy sitting off to the side or something.
Come on, man. You know better than to use a name on an open line.
Nice shot here with the colors and the
Yeah.
For 15 seconds,
Everything.
and I'm getting off.
As a director, the guy that handles cameras, is that a hard shot to hit where you get that the blurred out bag and the
you just gotta use the right lens. You probably gotta use like probably like a wide angle lens, I think, or
You hear me now?
that'd be like a telephoto lens.
Ass by telling you this.
You get that shallow depth of field.
I believe it fades into that too after he angles up.
Yeah.
From like he like walks into it or something, or not quite fade. Yeah, there it does fade into it. Yeah,
And rack focus to the background. Yeah.
And I know this movie way too well for my own good. If I know a little stupid detail like that. It's crazy the thing with Sharon Stone. I mean, she did a decent job acting as I was scared. Why? Very small role. Very small role. Looks like a very just stay at home mom character. But I mean, she became like a friggin' sex starlet. Just a few years after this.
She played the wife of Seagal. She played the wife of Schwarzenegger.
Yeah.
She works with Michael Douglas. I mean, it's not a bad run
Not
there.
a bad run, man.
And again, this is slightly kind of like the usual type of things, like the system is against the badass rogue cop. And
the rogue cop who's only trying to do good.
Yeah.
He's doing it outside the boundaries.
He can't do it inside the corrupt system, so he's got to kind of go out the bounds of everything.
It's not necessary. This is ridiculous. Who do you think you are? Guys coming in here treating my son like a pimp. Who do you think you are? There's a nip in here.
She's doing a really good job.
Yeah, Sharon Stone's not a bad actress. She kind of tanked a little bit too, though. She hasn't done anything in like 10 years.
She's done some minor things here and there.
But nothing. Like, she had a hell of a 90s run. Though,
yeah,
right?
I mean, she had like a short run, like Law and Order SVU for a couple of episodes.
Oh, did she?
Which, yeah, it was like 10 years ago or something.
She's another one that 2000 hit, and that was it, man. She shine just totally dulled out.
Yeah, she would go off do some random films here and there that
But she built a lot of her.
didn't do much for her.
She built a lot of it on her looks too. She was very sexy and very attractive and seductive thing. And as soon as the age started showing for her, that was it. She never really transitioned into anything else in terms of like, she could play the mom now or like.
Yeah, I mean. Yeah.
I love this.
This motherfucker.
The way he's saluting and
fuck you. Man.
Yeah, giving them the fuck you. Classic police chief. I love this police chief. He reminds me a lot of the police chief in Beverly Hills Cop.
Yeah,
also.
This guy looks very familiar.
But he just reminds me
the
so much.
cigar and everything. I know I've seen him in something else.
I love the
Champanage cigar.
I love it. Put your ass in there, chair.
Yeah.
He just reminds me so much of the chief in Beverly Hills Cop.
Oh yeah, yeah.
You know that guy who was an actual police chief.
Yeah, in Detroit. Yeah, he was awesome.
She's out of this. You're the rotten apple in this girl, Toscani. We don't need to look any farther than you and your family. You want to go to prison?
This guy's so good. I mean, he is a police chief.
Yeah.
And he's a badass. You can just see it.
I mean, there's a lot of cast in this film too. I mean,
great cast. That's
again, a lot of action films don't usually have pretty contained cast, but you got a lot of characters in this film just pushing different elements of the plot in different directions.
You're officially suspended, Toscani. Much badge and gun.
Yeah, I've definitely seen this guy in something else.
Yeah, for sure.
It's not nagging me too much, but I know I've seen him in other stuff.
It's a small role here, though, but a very effective 2 minutes.
I mean, sometimes that's all you need. Some guy to come in for 2 minutes to nail the scene and just make the plot point stick.
Now that's an interesting part. I wonder where that is. I can't even tell where that would be.
Yeah.
It's definitely. I think that's the south side. somewhere
That's
near-
what I'm thinking. Yeah.
not far from the museum, because you're looking at the angle of the city.
Because all that industrial, whatever it is
Yeah.
over there, that does not seem like anything on the north end of Lakeshore.
Yeah, and there's like a branch
Lake
of the
Michigan.
river coming
Yeah.
down here,
Yeah.
and there's nothing on the north side with this much river and that much park.
I almost feel like this might be close to Museum of Science and
That's what I was
Industry.
thinking, yeah. Because there's those there's what they call that Japanese garden and the other park behind the
Yeah.
museum that looks a lot like this.
Yeah.
Harrison's staff has been compiling some kind of heavyweight white paper. It implicates some of the major intelligence agencies in drug trafficking. They're going to release it next
Yeah, the other guy in this scene, he shows up in The Dark Knight.
Yes,
as
he's
another
the Dark Knight.
Chicago cop.
Yeah.
Gotham City cop.
I just
but-
wish I could remember the two guys' names, but they're just any Chicago cops needed.
Yeah, this guy gets. He's a corrupt cop in that film too. So,
Yeah, you're right.
so- a lot of these guys just seem like they should be playing a corrupt cop regardless. Like Nico's friend from the beginning of the film in Vietnam. He just seems like he should be betraying someone by now. They just seem like they should. Like they seem like that's what they always
They
get
got that
cast
kind
at.
of face.
Or are they going to turn a gun on him and just do something?
I was never a fan. I didn't like this part of the story. It's a weird tie-in.
Just like what a bunch of runaway kids and whatnot being taken in by the church or something.
Well, they were after this guy originally. That was the idea.
Yeah, I mean, it feels like you probably could just write this section out. It's not terribly important too. The drug running shit and the corruption and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Probably some leftover thing, like I said, from maybe like a TV pilot script or something. The guy wrote
It
or
has to
something.
be. I mean, it's easy to tie it in.
Anybody knows where he is, you've got to tell me because I know I can help him.
Yeah, it definitely was something that just like, hey, let's throw this in here too.
Max, I'm serious.
I mean, like you said again, like there's long stretches between the action, but I kind of, I mean, I always like that.
I don't mind it though.
The story drives the action. You don't just throw in an action
Yes.
sequence just because it's time.
Which,
It's been 5 minutes since the last time you have to fill a quota.
yeah,
Put it in there when the story demands it.
I agree. Which a lot of movies now, they just, throw action for the sake of action. No
Yeah.
story to drive it. I like the detail in the back. They're working on the church, like fixing the bombed out church and
Yeah.
doing some work on it. And
I mean, in a way, when you look into that kind of depth, you can see where like $7 million goes into that. They're adding
it's
more
the little
stuff in the background. They're throwing in some more extras and some more set piece stuff that just give it that type of extra dimension to what they're shooting and everything. Just keep those elements going in the film.
Yep.
And now,
Just more henchmen. It just
speaking of action,
it's very like video game henchmen. The way
yeah,
the 5 of them run out, they all got
Yeah.
automatics.
like Double Dragon or something.
Yeah. Or Narc. Remember Narc?
In Narc, there you go. They're all this
All
guy.
in suits.
This guy looks like he walked out like a '40s gangster film or
Yeah.
something. They're all like different like crime movies here.
Anybody move, he dies. Drop that magazine, motherfucker, now. Everybody's gonna ditch their weapons, butt first. Grab the barrel and do whatever you do.
And it's kind of nice. I mean, that it sort of shows a little bit kind of like almost like a military background for the character.
Yeah.
It's like you don't, typically in action you just like drop your weapons and whatnot, but it's kind of like telling a specific way to disarm yourselves, or else they're gonna fuck you over.
I love that kill.
Yeah, I love that. Just like no fucking around. Like,
Yeah, he's like, I wasn't kidding.
You want to screw with me? Well, fuck you,
Like, told you I killed one of you.
motherfucker. All these dudes just.
This is a great awkward scene. The guy, I don't know, I guarantee it was not an Indian guy. It was just some guy. Or he's just a local guy that like just say these lines.
Get down, asshole. Get the fuck down. Get down. Get down.
I just love the awkward cuttings
Yeah.
of this guy. The way he's just looking at the
fuck am I supposed
like,
to do?
oh, that's good. And like this kind of stuff, grabbing his.
Oh, there we
my
go.
God.
I love those fucking moves, man. Twist them around and shit.
It's all that Aikido.
Yeah. Oh, crack.
Oh my God.
Oh, shit.
I didn't know like there's such cut scenes. Like here, just say a bunch of these and they'll cut them in.
Yeah. There we
Oh,
go,
my
man.
God. I love that. That's a
Ouch.
the short arm clothesline is
Yeah.
a fantastic move.
Just to say fuck you.
Yeah. Yeah, that really is just like an
I mean,
add-on. Fuck
He
you.
throws them through the window and then jumps through the window at the same time. That's fantastic. But now we gotta get the fuck out of there.
I almost run over this guy.
Even though his car is sitting right there, they're gonna probably figure it out in about 2 minutes. That's interesting casting. This lady looks
Yeah.
like she's got like no fucking eyes.
Yeah. This guy's definitely not an act. Like the awkwardly the lace touch. Oh my
Yeah.
God.
Some bit part of a guy down the street or something. Taking her to a safe house or something.
Yep.
Minutes behind. It's gotta be this way. Let's go.
That was like the
Jax.
I guess who's that nice? That's supposed to be his uncle, right, or something? The mafiosi.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Mafiosi.
yeah. Mustache guy.
Yeah, the mustache guy's got a great look.
Yeah, he looks Italian.
But he's just a cool look.
Yeah.
They show, they said it early on. They're like, Nico's the only cop who's got more family members in the mafia than anybody else or something.
And supposedly Seagal specifically chose all the weapons for the film.
Oh, really?
Supposedly. I don't know how much firearm experience he had prior to making the film to be able to make that judgment.
Not surprised if he had a lot. He seems like one of those guys.
Well, I mean, yeah, by now, we know he's an actual cop and everything, so, he's at least had extensive training since then. He holds everything, the guns
Yeah.
properly and everything. He knows how to
Yeah.
operate them.
Stance and everything is right.
Yeah,
Were you engaging in
you see a lot of films and no idea how to hold a gun. It looks kind of ridiculous once you start seeing films that take a little bit more care
Yeah.
to be a little more authentic.
I thought you federal agents were straight, honorable guys. Does your wife know about this? Sex is not the only thing in life. Get in.
So you got this guy leveraged.
So how's your day been?
Okay.
Scotty, I want to congratulate you. You just made number 4 on the most wanted list. 4? I want to be number 1. Days young.
Daisy. Yeah, that's some cool one-liners, I gotta say.
And still, we're this far in the film, and he still hasn't even encountered Zagon yet.
That's right.
He still has no idea this guy who encountered like 15 years ago is at the head of all this bullshit. Oh, this guy, he's total Chicago though. What the fuck is he in?
Oh, this guy's
This fucking voice, I know
yeah,
it's
that
so
voice.
good. Oh shit. He was in Blues Brothers. He was one of the cops on the radio when the chase is happening or something.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Good ear.
Yeah.
Nelson Fox. That's his old buddy.
Now what?
Yes, sir. The agent has been with the Central American desk since 1984.
Thank you. That's what I wanted to know.
This is definitely on the north side.
This, I don't know.
Well, I think I can see what would be Navy Pier later on in the background there.
Yeah.
think it's on the horizon there.
What beach would this be?
I have no idea.
I see one of the piers. Nowhere you can drive up. Well, maybe back in '88. I don't know if there's nowhere now you can drive up that close. You can't get that close to the water on it with your car. Because you can, I mean, can't tell. Well, there's one of the pumping stations, so this is definitely between the loop and, you know, this is definitely near the loop. Yeah, you're right. That could be Navy Pier in the background.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Yeah. They had the opening, the wide shot before. It kind of looked like it out of focus. Yeah. That's got to be McCormick
Well, this
Place.
is definitely McCormick Place. That I know for sure. You can tell by the ceiling it's McCormick Place.
Oh yeah, because they couldn't get permits to come in here and actually shoot for the film, so they got like fake press badges or something like that.
That's right.
They go on like a news crew. That's brilliant.
That's right.
I love those kind of like running gun guerrilla type of things. That I mean, that totally looks incognito. They're shooting from like 30 yards away or something like that.
I wonder, like, if you watch the background, do the people kind of look a little puzzled?
Mm. I mean, at some point there had to be something here.
I mean, it's a quick scene.
Yeah.
But there are a couple of cutscenes. I mean, and this is a pretty interesting camera shot to get.
Yeah.
I mean, where the hell did they gotten that?
This might be a soundstage here.
Shut this whole goddamn place down in a matter of hours. There's no way to access the work operations directly, but I got a guy at Princeton. He's got a database bigger than
NEC, good lord.
Multi-speed laptop computer. I'm sure it's a fucking dinosaur at this point.
Yeah. And at the time,
Like,
Jesus. Wasn't NEC the
Like
one who made
120 kilobytes of
Yeah.
memory or something.
Oh, yeah. Was it NEC who made TurboGrafx 16?
I don't know.
No, NEC.
operative dossiers.
Start my friend notes.
They always had. They always had like the computer specialist.
Yeah.
You know, somebody who knew how to hack in
Yeah.
somewhere.
Yeah, it's funny thing about that in Eraser. You got Arnold sitting at the computer hacking
Yeah.
away or something.
Awkward.
It didn't make much. Wasn't very authentic.
1066 North Michigan Avenue.
They all come to Chicago last week.
Hmm. They must have had like a sponsorship from NEC or something like that.
Oh,
to be
yeah.
using this in the background. So like I said, this had to be a sound stage. They probably just shot this at instead of someplace in McCormick Center.
How do you want?
Where you going?
I gotta find the priest.
Be careful.
Say I'm not the vote.
I find this totally incredible. You being a station chief with the CIA, didn't know what was going on as a senator. I'd like to explain a couple things. And either you have perjured yourself earlier.
It had all the classic, like, 80s action theme plots. You had the political connection, you know, tie-in with their, the drug lords, the gangsters, the good cop who's on the edge, you know, the rebel, the family. I mean, every little area was covered. The street toughs. I mean, it was a comic book / video game. This was perfect.
Yeah, I mean, not so much the drugs, but you know, like early '80s with like Nighthawks, whatnot. You still had like the rogue cop type of shit.
Right.
Or you're back to French Connection, and more like that just kind of almost probably just started like Dirty Harry or something. It just evolved with the political turbulences of the time.
Pam Grier was really pretty. She's always been really beautiful.
Oh yeah.
Who is it?
There we go.
There we go. These definitely look like feds.
Is it the feds?
It looks like these guys look like feds.
Oh yeah.
There you go.
Yep.
Farmer's Fruit Market.
That's definitely long gone. It's probably a coffee shop now. They definitely just film late night in Wicker Park.
Oh, there we go. That's right off of Merchandise Mart.
Mm-hmm.
To the right there.
Yep. That is Wabash Avenue.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, Wabash Banking Center. See it right there.
So where'd you find this guy, Jax?
The nun from the daycare called. She's with the priest over at a place on Damien. She saw a couple of guys sitting around the church and she got scared. I got papers from that Senator Zaid, everything Harrison's been working on.
Where's your
It's
phone?
unbelievable. It's over at my place.
I need you to do me a favor. You stay out of it. You stay in the car.
I mean, despite all these kind of a little bit more disparate plot elements, I mean, the pacing of the film has been very consistent.
It's really well done. I'm telling you, I mean, I don't want to say underrated because it's a very popular movie, but it doesn't get mentioned enough in like classic action movies. You know?
Yeah, and you know, Seagal gets a little bit
I'll
pushed aside a tad bit when you think Under Siege and
Under Siege gets the most credit.
all this stuff. Yeah, because
And
it's the biggest block.
It is.
biggest hit.
Yeah, I personally like. It's not up there in my favorites though.
Yeah,
With him, it's good.
I like the grittier stuff, the Out for Justice, Mark for Death stuff, and this fits right in there.
These still look like they can be related.
Yeah.
I will listen to what this man has to say. She knows what's best for me.
I mean, it's so good when you cast someone like Henry Silva again, who has that look. It doesn't have to have much screen time. He hasn't had much screen time.
Oh, I mean,
But because you dress him in this wonderful suit, and you give him the right lighting, and you give him the right dialogue, and he's got that awesome look, that's all you need, really.
I think
Just to make him sell the part.
his total screen time can't be more than 15 minutes.
If even, I mean,
If
the
that.
most he had was right at the beginning of the film. There, we've got maybe like a minute or two splash in here, or like maybe like last 70 minutes or so.
Yeah, I'd imagine. I mean, cannot exceed 15 minutes of screen time. But it's an effective character.
Yeah.
Let's go, kitchen.
It's one of those kind of nice films. I mean, it's only altogether like 99 minutes long, but again, you've felt like we've traversed so much ground in story and character at this
We've been
point.
all over
that
the city.
There are films today that would have to be like 2 hours and 10 minutes or whatnot to traverse this kind of ground.
Absolutely.
Sometimes, because either you have to be a short, tight, lean film, or you have to be a longer, more in-depth film. I like this type of thing where you can just have something with a nice tight pace, whatnot, that can do a lot of things really quickly. And because you got good directors and good actors and everything else just comes together, you can just have a film that just holds its cohesion together and still can tell all these little elements of the story.
Some other Henry Silva roles that stick out. I know he played I'm trying to think. What didn't he play? Something in one of the comic book movies, the early ones. Wasn't he in the original Captain America, the one that came out like
I never
90?
watched. I never watched those.
There was one that came out like 90 or 91.
It would have to be that because he was not in the Punisher. I'll tell you that much.
No, he wasn't in the Punisher.
Who
Who was the villain? Who's Captain America's with the red face? What the hell was the guy's name?
Yeah, Red Skull. Yeah,
Red Skull.
I think you're right.
I think he played Red Skull.
Who
In
was
the original Captain.
Who was actually Italian in that film instead of German.
I believe it's him.
The Italian Red Skull.
I believe it's Henry Silva.
Yeah.
And it's the one that came out in like a horrible movie, not well made.
I mean, what I saw of it was always like on like the UHF station on like Saturday afternoon.
For the time, it was fine.
Yeah, he was.
My father. If you're telling the truth. Can we kill him?
Oh, jeez, this guy's fighting it as hard as he can.
We can
Oh, yeah. He's fighting
the sodium pentothal, I think.
Yeah.
And now this is just right back to the first scene.
He's crazy. There you go.
He's gonna strangle you again.
Tell her to stay in the car.
Oh.
This guy's just reckless with that machine gun.
Yeah, I like these action films are really gritty with a lot of gunplay and everything. Just
Yeah.
like it just adds so much to it. I mean, especially when they're so haphazard with firing the gun sometimes. It's like it just adds to the tension of everything.
Well,
You kind of lose time when you get really big films with big stunt sequences and shit like that, where you can just do something really cool, whatnot, where you just enclosed space with a lot of gunfire, you just add a lot of tension to
oh
it.
yeah. Oh, that's a rooftop. It covered a lot of ground.
Yeah.
I mean, you as a filmmaker, I mean, to cover these many spots, it's remarkable. It's the Damon stop right there. You can see that blue line, classic.
Yeah.
Take you right to here.
They put a camera on top of a freaking moving train, for Christ's sake.
Yeah, they definitely got some clearance for that one.
I mean, it's moving as slow as it possibly can, but it still requires a lot of safety measures because you got a multi-$1,000 camera on top of the thing that you do not want to break that son of a bitch.
Well, they got the old Blue Line car here. Now, little fact, they had the Blue Line was the last one to change over to the new train cars. I remember taking the Blue Line in the 90s when all the doors were open, sideways. These still open inwards. It was I remember the first time I took it, being mind blown. I mean, what the hell? Why does this look so different? Like, what is? And they kept with the old cars for a while, the old doors especially. Yeah, see how they open inwards right there. That's the last one to do it.
Looks like they're shooting this right before dawn.
Oh yeah.
And you can definitely see the sky coming out.
Sears Tower. There was no Trump Tower at the time in the city.
No Willis Tower yet.
Yeah, it was still the Sears Tower. Yep. So at this point, I think Jax is dead.
Yeah, jeez, yeah. Kill off Pam Grier, man. I'd be pissed too. Nice saxophone, man.
Yeah.
That's total 80s, man. I
Very
love that
80s.
shit.
Very like moonlighting almost.
Oh, yeah. But I mean, it's great. You're having this scene and it's just like, God damn it. It's playing the emotion so well. Well, she's not dead yet, but she's on the edge of it. It's not like he just goes into fucking revenge mode. It's like, God damn it, my friend is gonna fucking die.
I love this guy.
Now he's on the phone with the mafia.
What do you mean you don't know? You don't know what happened to her, Roger. Yeah, she's gonna be all right.
Oh. She doesn't look alright.
No.
Jesus Christ.
She's not dead. She's gonna make it. She was wearing a vest.
Okay.
I think the relief. And they used that scene with a trailer when it came out, and it said, you know, he's got
Family
in
in
the mob, right? And they use him laugh.
Yeah.
I mean, which kind of, if you're watching the trailer, you're thinking like, what is he, a corrupt cop though? You know, like
Yeah,
is he-
it's kind of an odd dynamic.
they throw that in there that they make you think he's a corrupt cop or something.
And that's what they're using throughout the whole film. It's like, well, you got connections with the mafia and shit.
I mean,
we can soy you real easy.
Yeah. this real kid. The kid kind of looks like him. He's been married like 3 or 4 times or something.
Yeah.
A bunch of times. A couple of kids. She just looked like a mom. She really just looked like.
Yeah.
It's bizarre to think that 2 or 3 years later she had one of the most famous scenes in an erotic
thriller.
Thriller where she's spreading her leg. I think it was the first spread eagle shot in film, right? Like on in like major film
yeah,
and like on like major theatrical
Yeah, I
film.
mean, Paul Verhoeven would probably be the one guy to be that bold about it.
Yeah, he was a bold director, that's for sure.
Again, I mean, these two work out really well. I mean, they're equal levels of emotion. I mean, she's fucking crying.
She's good though. She's
she's fucking solid as hell.
The small roles she had, she did good.
Oh, I like this shot.
Yeah, it's a great shot.
This is still neo-noir, Michael Mann type of shit.
They are definitely up. It seems like. I'm trying to think.
It's right over the river somewhere.
This is somewhere off of Michigan Avenue. That's the angle is not far from where I work.
Yeah.
Not even you can aim at this range, Nico.
Oh, see, I told you.
Yeah.
He was gonna fucking betray someone, didn't I?
That classic. He has that look.
Yeah.
Rig scanned every 35 seconds.
I was thinking of a claymore on the roof when the chopper.
No.
That's a very interesting location he's
Yeah.
hanging out at.
It's me, Nelson.
It's definitely somebody's balcony. Like
Yeah.
somebody they knew lived in Chicago.
Something.
on a
I mean,
high
King
rise.
stand up is not even 6 feet high.
That's true.
Very unusual.
I figured you'd do your recon from this building.
Also,
Marina Towers on the left.
yeah.
Is that your own Taylor? Hong Kong.
Yeah, definitely off the Chicago River there.
Yeah, I know the
Off of
area.
Whacker.
Definitely know the area.
I don't believe
Yeah, that's definitely off Whacker Drive.
Harsher to you. Want to help you, you dumb guinea. I've been trying to talk
Dumb
to
Dumb
guinea.
McKinney.
Hey, what's the fixer, huh?
Yeah, this is fantastic photography.
Make big points.
Yeah, this is cool.
Brought your scalp in. Should have big White House material.
Is that what Zagon is when you're basement boys?
Zagon's a
I mean,
rare.
she always got such a great background to be able. When you really know it, you can just get some fantastic shots.
Yep.
Money from the triangle.
And a ton of coke a week from other places.
Chief funnels here through Salvano. Company getting this cut floors.
Here's your breakdown.
So war is still the greatest business, huh, Nelson? These guys have started to finance everywhere we've ever fought. But you know something? Nobody would ever believe me if I told you. Bank me from the CIA.
Come on, Toscani, don't preach to me.
So the senator couldn't be bought, could he? He was gonna expose your plans to invade Nicaragua. Your fucking coke money.
This is all right here.
The agency
This
clears
is
Zagon to camp his ass, right? Just keep
Thoroughly 80s plot.
Oh yeah.
Some poor innocent priest finds out he comes here, but you can't kill the senator until you find out if the Padres talk. So Zagon comes in, tell me this little doctor bag, only by then I'm in on it. And you fucking know.
And it's a long piece of dialogue.
It
I
is.
mean, Schwarzenegger could never do this dialogue.
No way.
No way in shit. But Seagal's got the fucking charisma to just sell it all, man. Putting the snark into it, putting the cynicism into it a little bit.
The Romans did.
And the conviction, too.
We're an empire too.
You don't
Are we the fucking room? That's a classic line here.
Go!
It was a hell of a dialogue. You're right.
Yeah.
Because I mean, they just gave you he just tied all of it in
Just-
right
yeah.
there.
It's Johnny Lawrence.
No, is it really?
No, it just,
Oh.
just looks like him.
It does look like him.
It's his stunt double.
That guy's real last name is not Zagon, but it sounds something like that. The guy played-
Zebka. Billy Zebka.
Zebka, yeah, that's
Yeah.
right. He did some Comic Cons or tours or something like
Oh,
that.
yeah. I just started Karate Kid a couple weeks ago. Just like, looks so much excited.
Still holds up.
And they probably deserve what they're gonna get. You and I.
Total 80s blazer he's got on, too.
Oh yeah, my dad definitely had a bunch of those.
50,000 non-military personnel.
We wiped out entire cultures.
You gotta get your like moral like plot thrown into it about Vietnam.
Yeah. Oh, here comes the line. That's the fucking shit.
That's the line.
That's the trailer line.
We don't have time for this idiot in a goddamn car.
I wonder if the writer had some kind of, he was some Vietnam activist, because
I wouldn't doubt he had some kind of connection.
because there was there's a sub story about like the moral issue of Vietnam thrown into this. And here we go. They were all involved. Even this guy, the freaking bartender,
slimy son of a bitch. This motherfucker.
This motherfucker.
You just want to see him smack the taste right out of his mouth.
He's great though. This is it. This is your meat.
Look at all that hair. That fucking mullets.
What a team we got here, huh? I told you never be the man.
Son of a bitch.
I see that you found our friend.
Thanks, Fox.
I didn't bring anything, but I swear it.
Henry Silva's got such like almost like an exotic look. You think like you might have like a South American or some kind of Eastern European
and he's German.
accent.
He's 100% German.
I don't know, but I mean he's got such a natural, just regular American voice that you think you'd like have some kind of accent or something.
He's looked at me, his skin tone, everything he does.
Yeah.
He has exactly, you're right.
Yeah.
Now, Fox got shot
Yeah.
by that stupid bartender. That's the guy who shot him. That motherfucker, that guy.
It's not the way you want to go out.
Like, of all the people you're shot, the guy's fought in Nam, he's shot by some bartender with a mullet. I mean, look at that guy. That's the guy who took you out? That's the story you want to tell?
William Zabka's stunt double again.
Yeah.
Like those old Illinois license plates.
Oh, I love them. I still think to this day they're better than the ones we got now.
Yeah.
There was something about them that was very cool. I feel like they've matched with cars better.
Yeah.
They were less colorful, so they went with everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got this bozo.
Yeah. He's gotten shot in the leg. That was gonna get worse.
Yeah.
This is the guy who was choking out earlier.
Yep.
Oh.
He was yelling, "Stop the car!" then too.
Just the glutton for punishment. This is awesome.
That is an awesome
You
kill.
can see the dummy there for a second.
Yeah, for a second.
And then the stuntman takes over. That's fucking awesome. That's badass.
It's a badass kill. Moved around pretty good.
Nice, classic fucking shootout, man.
Yeah. Doing a couple in this movie already. Just ride down the rim.
And it's like, I mean, we had some of the martial arts stuff earlier, but now, I mean, just like, it's just been gunplay for most of the film, which is fucking awesome.
A lot of gunplay, yeah. This movie is heavy gunplay for sure. He's just purely riding on rims.
Yeah. Yeah, they went over the spikes or something. It looks fantastic.
It looks really cool.
That's
Very
badass.
risky spot too.
Yeah.
Like the dude there with all the sparks and whatnot. There's the House of Blues in the background.
Yeah. Well, it wouldn't be yet.
Oh.
Ugh. That is fucked.
I want him alive.
It's mind-boggling that no authorities are here.
Bring him up. Come on up. Let's go.
Like 12 guys were able to get away with not even a single copy.
That's funny.
Car just chilling there. The guy fell on the tracks, apparently. That's what they showed.
Now our honored guest.
It's some pretty cool cinematography. Like,
Yeah.
got some good shots and really represent the city pretty cool.
Yeah.
You got your classic torture scene. It's like, the
Yeah.
just how it was in the beginning.
Yeah.
It's like, here we are again.
And they got the garrote around his throat too, so he can't struggle. This son of a bitch is still alive.
He's still alive.
This
just
motherfucker.
yakking away, throwing his little comments in every now and then.
This is bullshit, Senator. We've got work to do.
All work in no play makes Jack a dull boy.
Get your shining line in there.
Now, before we say goodbye, honorable stuff. You know, you just going to take time to smell the roses.
Motor cave, passing doors, hotel kitchen.
Ugh.
Oh, gosh.
Jeez.
It's his little.
There's no way out of that.
I mean, look at this little briefcase of torture he's got
Oh.
here. It's either a sex bag or a briefcase of torture. One or the other.
Oh boy.
Or both.
One bag for all occasions.
Yeah, okay. It's a one-stop shop.
Oh.
He punches like an old man would punch.
Yeah.
The blood, the one only because the blood in this movie doesn't match the impact,
No.
The
you-
amount he's bleeding for 2 punches is
Yeah.
asinine. Like and earlier, the kid with the
Yeah.
in the drug room, whatever. I mean, he was
Yeah.
bleeding like he didn't get his ass
Yeah.
whooped, but it was like
I wonder if maybe they cut a couple hits out or something for the NPA or something. But just that, I mean, fucking A. I mean, how many times you see Seagal in that kind of situation in one of his films? I
Yeah.
mean, that's what kind of stands this one apart a little bit. I mean, it doesn't treat Seagal as the big action star; it just treats him as a character in the film.
oh yeah. I don't know, what was it they're injecting? Is it heroin?
I don't know if it's heroin or the sodium pentothal again. I don't know.
Johnny. Johnny, my sleepy beauty. Should show me when you had the chance.
Maybe some kind of sedative.
Dumb asshole.
There we go.
There we go.
And
There we go.
1, 2. There's
There
that
we
one.
go. Son of a
That
bitch finally got
motherfucker.
one in the heart. Oh, here we go.
This is.
Ah.
I mean, the hand looks so freaking fake.
Oh.
It was a good kill though.
Oh.
The arm break looked terrible because of the. You could just see the prosthetic arm. But the I'll do like the neck break for the kill.
I was feeling like they could have milked that scene for a little bit
I
more.
was gonna say it
a
should
little
have
bit more impact.
He was. This was like a 15-year feud.
Yeah.
Come back to life, and
They could have beat him up, run him through the ringer a little bit more, and come back a little harder and whatnot. It seemed like went a little too quickly.
I would have liked some dialogue when he
Yeah.
got free and he pulled the knife and they're looking at each other. I would have liked
Yeah.
some dialogue like, I've been waiting years to do this or something.
Yeah.
Or some line to tie it back to 1973.
Something.
Like,
yeah.
you were one of us, or people trusted you, or I mean, something where it's like,
Yeah, something that just drives home the character dynamic.
yeah. Channel 4 news. We never had a Channel 4 news.
No. That was probably just rights issues and everything.
Scotty, I just felt like a development coming. Thank you for that. We're sure we're going to use every resource available to bring these men to justice. To ensure that this
They're all fucking dead, though.
Yeah. Yeah, who's going to bring the justice? You think
Who's left?
He killed every one of them.
I mean, that is for Roberta Allspaw, this circuit court.
Are you sure you will?
a nice. They ended on a pretty decent note here, and
Yeah.
telling the story.
Yeah.
Can you tell us about your military background?
It kind of, in a way, it kind of ties into the beginning where he's talking
Yeah.
about his past.
Yeah.
He talks about what he did, his military background, his martial arts background,
Yeah.
and it ties right back around.
Yeah.
All the members of his team were doctors recruited by the CIA. Trained in a secret camp in Langley, Virginia.
It's got a cool, like,
Yeah.
little deeper story than you think it is. Not just a bang bang shoot 'em
Yeah,
up movie.
and it doesn't forget where the story began. It doesn't just kind of like, oh, you've been through this for 90 minutes. You probably forgot about half of the shit that started at the beginning of the film. No, it remembers. It has a memory for what
Yeah.
it set up and everything, and it remembers to pay that stuff off.
Continuity helps.
I guess they're probably just saying like there's probably more than just the guys he grappled with in this
Yeah.
film. That there's still like threads throughout the government and the CIA that need to be held accountable. So
Yep.
that's kind of nice. It doesn't have just this narrow scope of these like 5 or 6 guys he had to fucking kill at the end of the film. It goes further back and goes wider with the ideas and everything.
There you go. They wrapped it up. Look at the Men in Bar even got Michael Rooker.
Michael
Look at
Rooker.
that. Who knew, huh?
Yeah, I mean,
He's a Chicago guy?
I don't know. It might have been.
It's kind of fun to see, if you catch other names in these things.
Yeah.
Aikido fights. See, he had some of his students, you're right. That's pretty neat. And you kind of continue the soundtrack off of how it was earlier throughout the movie. They were like real cop type music. They were real kind of chill, yet some of the authority in there.
No, apparently Michael Rooker is from Alabama.
Is he? Okay.
He's probably just grabbed by a casting agent someday.
Yeah, I mean, he's probably just up here trying to do something, and
Aikido choreography, Steven Seagal, of course.
oh yeah.
Well, by all means, who else would they hire? But I mean, for a first film coming out the gate, I mean, you couldn't have been more solid.
No,
And have a more.
it's he did a hell of a job. First time out, you can't knock him.
Yeah, no, I mean, and again, this is like tail end of the 80s. I mean, again, you've just had Lethal Weapon, you're getting Die Hard the same year, and you've had some guys established, some guys getting more established, and then you gotta get this guy coming in to the scene and everything. So I mean, like, you're still having this flood of action stars adding their own flavors to the entire genre and everything. So I mean, it's a lot of action stars could only hope to have something as good like this.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I remember seeing like Jason Statham with The Transporter is like, that's another film that just like comes out the gate and just establishes the guy right up front. So I mean, Above the Law should definitely be considered one of Seagal's best films.
Hands down, no question about it. And that was a nice little fun ride through it again.
All right, guys. Well, thanks for joining us on this commentary, and we'll hopefully be back sooner than later with some more. Thanks, guys. Take care.